everybody, welcome to Chef Anne Marie, and I'm grilling today and we're going to be moving around. I postponed it till now for the better weather, and boy did that happen. I went from worrying about a dark cloud that was here about 15 minutes ago to full sun, and now I'm hot. So I'm just going to grill. And last week we talked a lot about planning and about doing. Today we're all doing. So let's get started. First thing is we still need to do our mise en place. So I tried, and I'm going to try and show you, I tried to fill up my little outdoor kitchen here with all my stuff I need so that we can get started there. First thing, and it's hard to see because of the sun, so I apologize if here we go. So we're going to work here. I really can't see, that's funny. There we go. I'm going to work here. I'm going to put you right there so you can see what we're doing is we're just going to prep stuff right now while we're waiting for people to come on. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Elaine. We're just doing our mise en place, our prep, and then we're going to go on from there. And as I explained, it's really sunny and I can't see what I'm doing here. There we go. So foil's my best friend. I'm going to be using it. I have laid out everything. I love grilling with foil because it just solves all the problems. First of all, I'm outside and I can't wash my hands, so I'm gonna put on gloves because this is a dirty job and somebody's got to do it. So let's talk through this. First thing I'm gonna do is I have some beets here. They're Target beets. I just scrubbed them in the sink inside. They look all yucky, and that's okay. We're just going to drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil. And what they're going to do is they're going to cook in their own juices. So we're going to make a pouch and seal it up. And you can do this with garlic. You can do it with anything. The trick is seal it up so it can really have a lot of stuff. And we're getting that ready to go on the grill. I'm going to take some corn here, and I kind of cleaned it up, but I want to get it cleaner and have that ready to go. So we're just peeling all the little hairs off of there. Somebody that cleaned the corn for me didn't do a very good job, probably the store. Yeah, this time of year. So we're just going to do the best we can, and we'll come back to that. Then we're going to take our asparagus. Now, asparagus is tough on this end and not so tough on this end. So we want to stay up to the darker color. That's what you want to look for. And large asparagus is really... Sometimes if I offer asparagus on my menu, that's all I can do is get the big stuff. But if I have my choice at home, I only buy the little stuff. And if I can get little stuff, I do. So the little pencil size is what we want. And I'm just going to turn around and grab my knife. And I don't normally cut on my cookie sheet, but I line my cookie sheets out on my outdoor area. Hi, Joanne. I'm going to just cut that off. So I know it seems wasteful. I have workers that go, gosh, we're wasting this. But this stuff is good in salads, but it's pretty tough. For our application today, we're just going to do a little bit here. And I'm only going to do a little bit because of the video. We're going to take some skewers. And we're going to skewer through them twice. So on this end, I'm going to do a bunch on a skewer. This is so that it's easier to use on the grill. So this is how I do my asparagus. How's everybody doing today? Happy Memorial Day. Again, if you're just tuning in, I can't really see. So the sun is in my eyes. So hi, if you're tuning in, I can't necessarily see everybody. So I get at the right angle. Hopefully you can see me okay. We're just doing asparagus right now. So I've got my bunch of asparagus. And I'm going to be, right now we're doing mise en place. We're prepping. I pull everything out into my garage, into my cooking area out in my backyard. Welcome to my home. You're in my backyard. And I am just skewering it like this so that way we can take care of it. So I've got some corn, I've got some Target beets here, and I've got some target beets and some corn and some asparagus. And I wanted to show you, I love these on the grill. So I'll just take them if they come in small and pretty like this. And especially if they're getting a little old. We had them in the restaurant for the last week, and we had a huge box of them. And I always pull the ones that have little bumps on them or little starting to shrivel, because they're perfect on the grill. I also, let me see what else I got here. Oh, I'm going to make another pouch for my potatoes. So yesterday we did a fundraiser for with Elevation Sellers and the North Shore School Foundation, and 100% of the proceeds went to the foundation. And we had leftover potatoes, and I wanted to show you potatoes on the grill. So we have roasted potatoes. Normally if I'm having a party I would have cooked them early, but in this case I just grabbed them from yesterday's fundraiser and the leftovers. So they're all baked and soft like a baked potato. They already have olive oil on them. I want to put a little lemon pepper, not too much, and I want to put some garlic salt. So I've got pepper and salt mixed in with my other things. I don't normally do that, but at home I do. And then what I always do is I take my pouches and you roll it down a few times, and then you take the ends and you pinch it like this and fold it over, and that's a pouch. So I'm getting my pouches ready to go while I'm waiting, because my grill is heating up here. We have a lot to get through because I love doing lots. I try to have everything out here. So I've got like tasting spoons. I grabbed some ketchup. I wanted to go over some simple, because we're about not getting into the recipe and it looks like it's snowing because of the cottonwoods out here. This is about just feeling your way through things. So what I like to do is give it a little zing. I have some ketchup here, a little tiny bit of mustard. I brought out my brown sugar. I'm going to grab some of that. And I like it sweet, and I like it to caramelize, so I add quite a bit. If I had fresh garlic out here, I would, but I don't, so we'll just do some garlic salt instead of fresh garlic. Again, this is about using what you have and being comfortable with what you do. So there's that. I gotta adjust and this is all it takes to make a little. Now if you liked it spicy, you can add some hot sauce. You can add whatever hot sauce you have. I add cayenne pepper if I want to put a zing to something. But this is just a little to show you that you can make something out of your pantry at home. So I'm going to set this over here, get it ready. Okay, so now I'm going to turn you around. I think we have everything over here done. Oh, nope, I have one more thing to do. I also had some rolls. So I'm going to take some rolls, because the idea is that you can do almost anything on the grill. Almost anything on the grill. Need another knife. I'm going to slice up the rolls like this. Again, I have my stainless steel table. I got it renovated from a kitchen that was being remodeled. This stainless steel sink counter area is actually from the 60s, and I saw someone throwing it out and I brought it home. It goes around a corner, put it by my barbecue, and it made me an outdoor grill area. I have some compound butter here, and we'll have a class on that. Took my compound butter, which has garlic and all kinds of yummy stuff to it. Garlic and fresh chives and a little bit of basil, a little bit of salt and pepper. And I'm just going to put this together like this. And then just to keep it nice and safe from the sun, I'm going to set it like this. So whenever you have a little bit of chives and a little bit of fresh garlic, boy, this is just delicious to put on. I'm going to put it later on the corn as well, because it's really good at the end of cooking it, because it will flare up if you put it another way. And I tried to save it out of the sun, and I did it too much. It's too soft. It's not soft enough. It's too hard. So I put that together like that. Put it back in here out of the sun again. So I have my bowl. So you see what I prepped. So when I reach behind me, you can see what I did. Now I'm going to move you over to the grill area. And again, hope to see it. So there's my little prep area. I'll be prepping things. And then, let's stop there, because I want to get those wines out of the sun. So the sun just came out as I pushed go. I have some Laurelhurst wine here. It's from Seattle. It's Greg Smallwood and those guys there at I have my water here. Those guys at Laurelhurst Cellars does a very, very nice job. They have I suggest you go online and check it out. They even have a 2010 which Petite Syrah, which is delicious and for sale right now, 2010. They have Merlot, the Cab Franc. Cabernet Sauvignon is from Walla Walla, but they take it from a hot mountain and a cold mountain, and they blend the 200% Cabernet Sauvignon grapes together, and it's amazing. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to prep with their port. So I need another piece of foil. Grilling time, I love my foil. I'm going to show you something fun. So I'm going to make, because it's going to be a little liquidy, I'm going to kind of pull it up, the sides up so water doesn't go. I've got some regular old grapes that I washed on the stem, but they're falling off. I mean, they're literally falling off the stem. I don't know if you can see that. These are grapes that were in the freezer. I'm going to dump them in here. They were washed, so that's why they're wet. I'm going to pull out all the stems. I'm going to put some olive oil on them. Okay, hopefully you can see me. If there are stems in there, you can get them later, but I just want to make sure they're all out. There. A little bit of salt. Just a little bit. And we're going to put them on the fire, on the barbecue. And then I'm going to show you later, we're going to let them cook for a while. Once they cook a little bit down, start to shrivel up, we're going to add the port. And we'll talk about that when we get over there. But Laurelhurst Cellars, I might have to try that. I love port. I might have to drink some today. I also, oh, it got warm. It's time to get it out of the light. Let's see. Okay, I just opened it. Just 1 second. There we go. Okay, so another thing I grabbed from the fundraiser yesterday that I wanted to show you was an apple crisp. I made my apples, I crisped it up, and we just got an apple crisp like this. I'm just going to set that by the grill, and in a few minutes when we're enjoying our steak, we'll throw that on. I also have some Bordeaux, but I'm going to have to get that out of the sun as well. Laurelhurst Cellars has amazing wine. I highly recommend it. Let me know if you need to know how to get there. Okay, so one of the things we're going to make real quick is, that's the other thing. I have no idea what time it is, but okay, we'll just keep going. One of the things we're going to make is we're going to make a brush for basting. We're going to take a piece of just kitchen string. We're going to take our any herb you have laying around. I happen to like them around me, so I have some lovely sage here that are blooming. I like to start with my rosemary though, because it gives you some strength. Start with rosemary. Lay it out. Then I'm going to take like some parsley, snip that up. I'm going to take, this is a cilantro that needs to be trimmed. When they start to do that and they're going to flower, they'll stop producing. So you got to get that off of there anyways. I'm going to reach over here and grab some of the sage here. Put a nice purple flower in there. And one of my favorites that I love to grow in the summer is tarragon. Tarragon's awesome. And I'm just going to take it. I'm going to put it on the string. I'm going to tie the ends. And this is really hard with gloves. You don't have to use gloves. I'm just outside and couldn't wash my hands. And we're just going to tie a knot in it. And then we're going to trim it up. I mean, this stuff is really simple once you know it, right? The scissors aren't strong. So, this here is your basting brush. Now, when we have the barbecue sauce and all that stuff, it's gonna help us put it on. Okay, so let's get over to the grill. So, here we are. If you're just tuning in, I want you to see what I'm grilling. This is the grapes that I just put on, and this is a pan I was preheating. And this, if you can see it, this right here are some something I boiled to go through with you. So I'm bringing over my pre-prep stuff and my glass of water because I'm getting dried. And I'm going to take my potatoes, set them here to get ready to go on the grill because it's pretty early. These are Target beets. We just washed them and oiled them, left them whole and unpeeled. Set that on the grill just as it is and let it just sit at the back and do its thing. I'm going to put some peppers here in the middle. You have to know your grill. So on my grill, this is the hot area and this is the cooler area, even though it's still hot. I have a pan that's a cast iron pan. I was preheating. I'm going to take some cumin seed. This is kind of a fun little thing we do. I'm going to put the cumin seed in there and toast it. No measuring because we're all about just, you know, beyond the recipe, having a good time. And so while those cumin seeds are toasting, I'm going to stir them up a little, get them in there. And we at my house don't drink beer, but some of the people that come visit us do in the past. And so we have, I just grab whatever beer. It's not important. It's the kind of beer you do this with. Because again, it's all about using what you have around. There's some, there we have it. You can see it, it'll start popping and it'll start smelling. When you smell it, it's done. And you don't want it to burn. It's almost there. We have grapes, I can hear them. We have our, I'm going to put them to the back till I get ready. They're starting to go, starting to blister. One thing I did leave something on the grill and I wanted to show you while I'm thinking about it. Again, here I come with the foil. My son had a friend on his lacrosse team when he was in high school that had a wire brush, and the wire brush got into the food. They cleaned it with a wire brush. It got into the food, and they caught it, but they didn't know what was wrong with him because it was stuck in his intestines, the piece of wire brush. So I never use a wire brush. I only use a ground up piece of foil, and I left it this way so you can see how easy it is. It'll form right to it, and then you just scrub away with a big piece of foil, once it's hot, and as soon as I get done, I usually clean it right away. But in this case, I left it because I knew. Always move your bunches around with your little handle. And I'm just going to scrub that off. I forgot that I left that to show you. So there you go. Nice and hot. Again, my grill right now is about 400, so we know. Okay, and these guys are done. I can smell them. They're toasty. So I'm going to crack a beer. I'm not going to drink it yet. I'm going to pour it into here. Can you hear that? Doesn't that sound cool? I'm going to pour it. I'm going to let it get up there. Get those to stop going. And then I'm going to bring out my brats. We're doing beer brats. I'm going to just throw them in there. And what I'm going to do, one second, I got to grab a towel. I'm going to pull that off and set it aside and let it marinate in the beer with the toasted cumin seed. This makes for the most delicious brats. And the beautiful part is, when you are cooking on your grill, you can bang as much as you want. I love banging on the side of things, and you don't want to do that on a glass, or if you're worried about getting shards. I'm just going to set that aside to let it just marinate there. It'll stay that temp until I'm ready to throw them on the grill. So we have peppers going. We'll set those over there. We're going to take those beets and just, they'll take the longest, so we'll leave them. Let's check our well, they're still got, you can see them steaming though. I don't know if you can see them steaming. They've still got some more time, so we'll do this. So let's get into the meat. Okay. So, anybody have any questions? I haven't even seen. Okay. Well, hi. I can't see the thing, so we'll just go on with it. Takes at least a bit of time. Let's cook a dog, shall we? This is quick and easy. I usually cook my Mariner dogs first, because the Mariner dogs, and I know it seems like not a big deal, but there is a trick to it. I used to hate to cook them on the grill because they get not done, and then everybody'd get mad. So what I do is I cook them first, so then the kids can eat, and whoever says they're hungry can eat. And we put them along the grill that way, and then we make our score marks later, so that you can make sure they get there. One second, I'll be right with you. So what I've done is I like to buy my fish, I like to pack it once it's done like this and freeze it, so that we can just, on an evening that comes, or if we're making steak and someone doesn't eat steak, they can just, so it's very easy to do this. What I'm going to do is show you something fun. I'm going to take my scissors, I'm going to lop off the top. Sorry about this, I was going to do this and I couldn't see from the sun. So I'm cutting off the top of these bags from when I ziplock them, or lock them. We call it locked. I'm going to make some room here, just so you can see. Can you see? Yep. I'm going to take a lemon, and I'm going to slice it. And I don't know if you've seen my lemon video, but I'm very adamant about this. Do not buy a lemon juicer. Because what I do is I usually have a tall glass for this. Let me grab a. Just because I'm trying to do it in the camera. I usually set it in a tall glass. I get them open like this, and then I just squeeze lemon. Now, one thing you got to remember is lemon juice will cook it if you don't, if you leave it sit for too long. So you want it on like 10 minutes. I'm going to put some olive oil in there, and I'm going to put some garlic salt. Again, we're cooking out of the cupboard today. Normally I don't do this on the barbecue, but I wanted you to not miss what's going on. And then I take it, I squish it all around, let it get all marinated in there, and we're going to season it again later. This is just a little bit of flavoring, and I'm going to set it aside to throw on the grill later. Okay. Let's see what else we got to cook here. We have a steak. I have a ribeye steak here. This is a prime rib cut. Any steak, you do it anyway. I have pre-done the side with lemon and, I'm sorry, not with lemon, with salt and pepper. You can see it. I'll try to see the salt and pepper. Okay, I am going to set it on the grill. We're going to learn how to do grill marks. I'm going to set it like that. Season side down. You always put your side down that you want to see the, see first on the plate. So your presentation side. See, our peppers are doing, we want it to blister like that. I can hear this. Hear it? Sounds really good. We're going to turn that over. Turn that over. So I got lots of stuff cooking right now. Let's see, what else do we have here? We're going to pull out some chicken. Be right with you. One trick I also want to say is, if you can, if you have the right tools, you want to leave this, because I can touch the meat, I can touch anything because it's cooking it and it won't cross-contaminate, and we'll talk about that. So I have some chicken tenders here, and I'm going to, but don't burn yourself, make sure they're actual good tongs that you can do that with. We're going to just lay those on the grill right like that, not in that hole. Now, chicken is a quick cook, as we talked last week. This is chicken tenders. This is the bottom side of the, and again, I'm going to let it get nice and hot because I don't want that chicken, the raw chicken, on my tongs. These chicken tenders are the bottom side of the breast, and they're the most tender of all chicken, and they take the least amount of time to cook. So, let me see if anybody has any questions, if I can see. Hi, everybody. Hi, Angela Stone. I am grilling up. Let me point out what we have. We've got peppers blistering. We've got dogs going. We're not, like, worried about them rolling around. We've got some beets, Target beets in the back. I'm going to now put on my potatoes to get them warmed up. They've been pre-baked. We're making grape compote. We've got some beer brats are just marinating right now, and we'll throw those on the grill soon. We've got some corn. The big trick to this, honestly, is have everything out here and stay here and pay attention. Okay, so now I have a surprise. And here's my surprise. We're going to do ribs too, because, you know, we don't have enough stuff going on here. We got some ribs cooking. Now the ribs, we want to be able to get the fat out and get them cooking, because they're long cooks, and I don't have a lot of time at the grill. I only had an hour, so I boiled them, and once we get this going. I'm going to go over here and clean these off. Our dogs are done. I've got a little burger to throw on here because you can't have dogs without burgers. This is what I had pre-did for you. And I'm just warming back up. We're going to put some score marks on there like that. I love it in that way. We're going to put that to the back. Melt my plastic plate there. Okay, so let's go back to our steak. I love simple salt and pepper, but I like lots of pepper. So, once you put the seasoned side down, side you're going to see, you want to salt and pepper it. Like so. Then we are going to see if it's time to turn. Because I need more room on the grill. So, see how the lines are? So, the lines are like this. To get the perfect score marks, you want to turn them to 10 o'clock. They were at 12 o'clock. You want to turn those to 10 o'clock. There we go. Now I'm going to look at my little chickens here. Check them out. Move them around. They need to go back in the back. It's always hotter back to the back of it than the front. I'm going to get those warmed up again. I'm going to check my little burger here because it was already done. I just am warming it back up again. Let's check our, look at those. Don't they look yummy? Let's pour some 40, okay? Oh, that smells so good. Here, you gotta see it. Look at that raisin color. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm gonna pour a little more in there. That's yummy. I'm gonna get some too. Nice job, Greg. Okay. Laurelhurst Cellars. They have awesome wine. I got my little cheater thing here. Remember we had the foil, going beyond the thing here. We had the foil. You just clean up the grill like that. I'm going to get those dogs off of there so we can have a nice plate. Get the hamburger cooked. Just for time because of the show. I can hear this. Look at that, huh? Again, if you're just tuning in, we're just grilling. We are, I'm just throwing on what I have because it's all about cooking without recipes, cooking on the thing. Let's look at our steak. Look at that, looks really good. Let's turn it over here. You want the diamond shape. It's 12 o'clock and 10 o'clock when you move things. Here's our ribs. I just put them on to boil. They probably boiled 20 minutes. I'm going to put them on here. This is potatoes we got cooking. We just finished the burger. We could even make more grill marks if we wanted to. The chicken. Now, last week we talked about chicken. Chicken is the one thing that you got to worry about. You know, the rest of it's all, you know, not as bad. You have to worry about all of it. But let's cook our asparagus. Over there. You could drizzle it once it gets going. I'm going to drizzle it with olive oil. Now that might flare up, so you got to be careful. I'm going to give it a little salt. I'm trying to get this to show its true colors. We're going to get it barbecue-like. I'm just going to turn that over. I love that. Now, what I like on this is lemon rind, but we'll talk about that in a minute. How do you like your steak? I like it medium rare. We've got peppers almost done. When they get all soft and bushy. Isn't that pretty? Now this is a hotter spot, so I'm going to switch them. Again, you want to seal this up really good so you can turn it. Our grapes are going on. We got are, we're making grape compote, we're making target beets, we're making some potatoes, warming up some potatoes, which can be moved around because we're just warming them up. We can put that back there where it's hotter. We've got skewered asparagus so that the asparagus can be easier to move around. You don't lose it between the things. We've got a little bit of chicken going on. You know, I said I wouldn't do chicken, but you know, I have a son who always wants chicken, so there you are. Okay, so I like mine medium, my steak medium. One of the ways you should use a meat thermometer, but when I'm at home, we're talking about home, not professionally, I use my hand. One thing to do is this. If you touch your hand, right here is really soft. Everybody put your hand out like this. Relax. Touch right here, it's really soft. That's rare. Right here is a little bit firmer, and up here is totally firm. That is rare, medium, and well done. So that's one way when you're out and about and you're like, oh, I don't know how the steak's doing. That's one of the things I'll do. So like, watch, you can see that's about a medium, almost medium. It's a little medium rare, I would say. But again, I had it, this was 12 o'clock. I'm gonna turn it to 10 o'clock to get that diamond. My burger's done, a little flame helps that. We're gonna put that with the dogs. We're gonna take our brush. 1 second. So glad you're not looking behind me because, you know, throwing things all over the place. What we did, if you're just tuning in, we just start with rosemary because it's firm. And then I got some, I like tarragon, I've got some flat leaf parsley here, and I've got some sage flowers. Pretty. We tied it with a string, and we made our homemade barbecue sauce. And if you're trying to make it real quick, I used to live way out, and we were like 30 minutes from the store. I know that's not way out for you, Elaine. I learned how to make this because I needed to make it when we had company coming real quick. This is my brush for basting. It's ketchup, a little tiny bit of mustard, some garlic salt, and brown sugar. I sometimes put some smoke seasoning in it, or smoke flavoring in it to give it a smoke. Smoked paprika works really good. And I'm just gonna put that on to make our chicken. You want to cook the chicken most first because it will burn. We're gonna get that on the, doesn't take much though. And this is where I got it. And just rub it and keep basting it. There's our little sauce. And then I can turn it. And again, it's awesome. It's not like a pan. You're not worried about making a mess because it'll burn off. Just relax and enjoy what you're doing. That's the key to this all. I really like the rosemary being longer, but that kind of grew on me, so you kind of got to go with it. Don't burn yourself. Okay. If you need something firmer, you can do it with just rosemary. We're going to take, I'm going to start pulling some stuff because I like medium and I'm cooking this for later. So this is our steak. You can see it now. How it's, these are done too. See, things catch up to you. So now I'm pulling it to the outside because I know this isn't as hot. That steak is medium. My husband will love it. We're going to look at I can hear this. That's what's crackling. You can hear it. The green peppers, you want it to look like that. Get really soft because we're going to slice into them later and show you what to do with the steak. One thing, if you have mushrooms, you can make a little baggie of mushrooms, throw it on there, slice mushrooms, put some onions in there with some butter and just throw it on the grill and then pull it off and pour it over your steak. It's delicious. we're starting to look barbecued here on our ribs. Our chicken's done. I'm going to pull that and put it in. Now I can tell because of the way it's firm. Like I said, it's firm and I know it's warm enough. And we're going to eat dinner later when my daughter comes over. So, oh, that means I just poked a hole in it, I would guess. Okay, let's check our grapes. Look at those. I'm going to let it steep a little with it open, and we'll kind of clean up the barbecue sauce at the same time. We've got our going in. Let's throw some corn on. And let's get these brats going. They've been sitting for about 20 minutes, I believe. I don't know, I'm guessing, because I'm doing my video here. And we'll cook those right up now that they've been steeped in. If you're just tuning in, that was, we warmed a pan. We put the cumin seed in whole. Sometimes I put coriander seed with the cumin seed. And then I pour beer in it. It bubbles. You set the beer in, the brats in, and let it go. Oh, look at that. It's bubbling. You see that? It's pretty cool. Don't want to. There you go. We've got our pre-boiled ribs, if they're thickened, because we're worried about time. We've got our potatoes, which are smelling really good, by the way. And our peppers are done because they're wimpy. So I'm just pulling them off all onto a platter. And since I have the room now, I'm going to take this apple crisp and just put it on there to warm. It's all been baked and ready to go. You can bake it on here, but I was trying to do a lot at one time. If you're going to be doing something for an hour. There's your potatoes. They're cooking away. Got this going on. I'm going to move the brats to the back. See, they're looking lovely. Put that over to the side. So you use your grill. This is my warming area. This is when I really want to get some color. This corner is hotter than that corner. I don't care how many burners you have, how even they say it is, they're not. They're not even. So get to know your grill. Know that the front is always cooler than the back, but there's always going to be one side that's hotter than the other. We're just going to keep those, we can do like the dogs. Use your grates to your advantage. We've got, I want to open this just so you can see it. Yeah, it's got a hole in it, so the grease is falling out of it. Okay, I moved it around too much. But you can see, always keep a cup of water just in case you have a fire, but if it's, you want a fire extinguisher if it's grease. Okay, so you can see our beets are cooking away. That probably won't be done before we're done, but you know that you can do that. We've got potatoes here. We're making our great compote. Now this is lovely with some Laurelhurst Cellars port. I'm going to, in this case, I'm going to just cook that. It was olive oil and salt. I cooked down the old grapes. I put the Laurelhurst Cellar port in there. It's a tawny port that has been fortified, and it's just delicious. I will be just pouring that over some cheese later. It's good with the meat. It's good with pork. I can blend it and then make it into a great compote to put with chicken. It's just a plethora of wonderful things you can do with that. Always make sure that if your tongs have a thing where you don't get hot, you want to heat up the ends because then it keeps all the bacteria going. I want to get some more barbecue sauce on this wonderful ribs here. It's been fun. I'm going to pinch this off. 1 second. you're just turning in, we're just barbecuing out of our pantry. We've got ketchup here with a tiny smidge of mustard and a garlic salt and a whole bunch of, I like it sweet, so a whole bunch of brown sugar. If I feel like I want it smoky, I add the, what is it called? The smoke flavoring. And then it's just all about getting comfortable in your kitchen, utilizing what you have, and stock your kitchen with good stuff too. You know, all of this stuff is multi-use, multi-function. If I do beef ribs, I boil them. If I do pork ribs, I actually see how that was just laying there? One end is done, one end isn't. It's because there are hot spots. And all grills, I don't care how fancy or much money you spent on them, it's that way with everything. So, as a recap, I'm going to throw this back on so you can see everything, because I have no idea what time it is. So we're just going to wrap up here. So let's just do a big wrap up. Here's the grand finale. Ready? Let's turn that over. To do a good job, you want to become Edward Scissorhand, right? Do everything with your tongs. And don't grab the foil like I do, because I have hotter hands. So, here is a wrap up. Here it is. We have the, over here we have an apple crisp warming. We have potatoes that are warming, and you can actually, if you want, I get tired of chasing them. We've got some Target beets in here that have olive oil, salt and pepper, and I just made a pouch. If they will take longer because they got a hole in them, but that's okay. I'll just leave them on longer. I'm grilling some corn here to put some herb butter on later. I've got, we skewered the asparagus so that we don't have to chase it around and lose it through the grate. We learned how to cook a steak. We season one side, lay it down, the side you're going to want to see, then finish cooking on the other side. That way if it takes longer, it takes longer, and then one side's still pretty. I like medium, so that's about medium. You can see it's getting there, but you just use your hand and you go push there. Is that feeling right there is rare, then medium, and then up on this end where it's more firm is when it's well done. There are temperatures, and I can send them to you or post them. This is just what I do at home, not commercial. We had chicken. Chicken tenders are the chicken tenderloins are the tender part of the chicken that's under the breast, and they cook up really fast. They're nice for a weeknight meal. We're blistering these nice peppers. When I'm finished, when they're cool, I'll chop them up and lay them across the steak. If you like peppers, we got dogs here and we cooked them in the grate like this, so they stay together. We have ribs that we pre-boil. I'll flip it over here pretty soon and put some more barbecue sauce on it, the same barbecue sauce we made for the chicken. We have some port, tawny port from Laurelhurst Cellars, which we are using some grapes that were getting old. We cleaned them up, we put them in salt and pepper oil, cooked them a little bit. You can do this in the oven as well. We're going to pour that over some cheese for appetizers. Pre-cooked a burger, so it look cool. It's real easy. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to go get this ready for my family, and you guys have a great Memorial weekend, and we'll see you next week at 9 a.m.